Hello and welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness, Kingdom of Apples. Today, Sir Galador has taken a walk from his barony on the edge of Queens. He's gone searching for Baroness Laney. He's dressed very formally in his best armor, no weapon though. It's polished to a gleaming perfection as he heads to her barony because he's been here once before, and he thinks, well, if I'm here on semi-official business, maybe I should visit her barony first. And he'll head to her freehold and probably, knock on the door, wait for permission to enter.
Um, okay, well, just before you knock on the door, roll me perception alertness.
Okay, let me check my die pool. Actually, I know it first. No successes.
No? Okay. Then you can knock on the door. And I suppose you do.
Yep.
Couple of minutes later, not terribly long, you see this girl she answers the door. And...
Go
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
He'll give her a polite bow and say, "Greetings. I was hoping to see if Baroness Laney was in."
She's like, "Oh, did you have an appointment?"
No, but if I could make one, that would be best, I suppose.
Well, I mean, she's just outside right now. I can go see if she'll see you. Who would you say is calling?
Tell her Sir Galador Dougal comes bearing an apology. And he'll give her a bright smile.
She just blinks at this, gets kind of a really slow grin on her face, and she's like, "Okay, yeah, come on in."
I'm gonna roll a perception empathy on that.
Okay, sure. I'm not rolling any dice on her, so this is one of my retinue. So.
Okay.
Yeah, you got one. Wow, you seriously 2 dice? Dude, that's like.
He's not focused on that.
Very much not. Just on the kind of slow grin, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just kind of a surprise more than anything else. She's surprised and yeah, just like she wasn't expecting this.
Okay.
I'll give you this one tiny detail. She's obviously not someone who tends to hide her emotions very much.
Okay.
And yeah, she'll lead you inside if you're willing. Take you to like a little sort of a sitting room. It's rather formally decorated. But everything there is comfortable.
Okay. Well, he'll just stand very formal, hands behind his back, and give her a polite smile as he waits.
Yeah, she'll just be like, "I'll be right back," and she heads out the door. For Dimitri, since you're there, She comes up, and I'm not going to play out this whole thing, but it basically says exactly what Galador said. And Laney sort of blinks at this, like, okay. And she just looks at Dimitri, kind of like, I suppose we have to do this then?
Yeah, sure. I mean, just lead on.
Actually, and Laney looks down at the sword in her hand, and she's wearing, like, basically workout kind of clothes at this moment. Actually, no, she's wearing her light armor that she's bought. She's trying to get used to wearing it a little bit more. Since we're fighting, it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's just going to be like, and she's going to send, this is Marissa, so she's sending Marissa back inside to tell her to ask her, Sir Galador to come outside. So, and she'll just look at Dimitri and be like, shall we continue while we wait?
I don't see why not. All right. Back to it then.
And Laney proceeds to continue getting beaten by the gigantic troll.
Beat me,
Which is how this is
troll.
going to go.
Forcefully instructed.
He's being gentle. He's being gentle. It's okay. And meanwhile, Marissa, who hasn't even mentioned her name to you yet, but then again, it didn't matter, I guess, heads back in, and she kind of peeks in the door, and she's like, Laney says if you want to come outside.
He'll give her a short. Of course, like, we'll be right there. I suppose I'll follow your lead.
Yeah, she nods, and she'll lead him back through the back door, where now that you're much closer, you can hear what you missed earlier, which is the clanking of swords.
Okay.
It sounds a bit, it's not like a really vicious fight. It's obviously more training-y than anything else. And there's two main things. Well, from the door you can see off to one side there is a pond. And there's a Squirtle, like, sleeping across a big rock in the middle. There's also, like, an English maze off to one side, which that's the other side. But before you get there, there's a training yard, which is like a training grounds area, and that's where you can see, apparently, Dimitri and Laney.
Okay. So he'll bow to the other satyr, convey his thanks to her, and ask her name.
She says, I'm Marissa. Did you want something to drink?
No thank you, my dear, but thank you for your assistance.
She's like, I'm actually the seneschal here, so if you send things over that are official, I'll probably see them.
And he gives her another bow, and just exchanges a couple of, what's the word I'm looking for? Pleasantries is before he go, like, the have a good day, that sort of thing, before he turns and walks out into the yard and stops a respectful distance away, and simply waits for Laney to acknowledge him.
You see Laney getting beaten by the troll. It's not even a good fight. She's trying really hard, but it's just not even a good fight. She's got like 4 dice in Dex and Dex and melee, so it's pretty bad. It's better than 2. And probably after another minute, after she's just barely managed to not get knocked out by something that comes her way, she'll just be like, "Hey, hold on," and she kind of stops and turns towards Galador.
He'll give her a bow.
She's like, sorry, we're kind of informal around here, if you haven't noticed.
Perhaps, my lady, but I come to bring a formal apology.
She'll set the sword down and walk over to him, and as she's walking, you can sort of see her demeanor sort of, like, she's not sort of, like, not quite as slouchy and casual. She stands a little bit taller.
She's going Baroness mode, as Estrella would say.
Pretty much. She has to. When he says formal, it means she has to turn it on. So she is, in fact, doing so. And even though her hair is, like, all pulled up in some kind of weird-ass messy ponytail, it's, she's wearing armor. She just kind of looks at him and says, I see.
He'll give another short bow, and then as he stands up, he says, Baroness Laney, I come bringing my most humble apologies for my actions at the bar the other day. I was not in full control of my senses, and I acted rashly because of it, and I would beg your forgiveness, my lady.
She considers him a moment. Thank you, actually. It was upsetting at the time, but I also knew. I mean, I've certainly been in that situation myself. Apology accepted.
He gives her another bow and says, "Thank you, my lady. And I have, if you would be willing, a question to ask."
Okay.
He kind of shoots a glance at Dimitri, and you might want to roll perception empathy on that.
Both of them? Who?
I mean, if you want to.
No, who?
But like Laney would probably be most important, but I'm sure Dimitri, if he's paying attention, would also roll. Like...
Yay, 3 dice.
I got 3 out of 6.
Okay, so you definitely pick up. There's a lot of confused feelings there, but you get the definite feeling that whatever the question is, it's about Dimitri, but you're not. Probably can't quite tell what it is yet. I don't think. As for Dimitri, he knows that something's up regarding him. I don't know if he's close enough to hear them talking, but...
He's probably close enough to...
Oh.
Not probably... No, he probably isn't, honestly. He's letting
Well,
those at the title do their thing. Type of thing.
you have a title, it's just a lower title than either one of theirs. It's true. Squire is a title. You rank higher than the commoners.
Just don't tell them that.
She's gonna look at him, look at Dimitri, then back to Galador, and just be like, "Does this concern my squire?"
Yes, my lady.
I would prefer to have his input on it if that's all right with you.
That is perfectly within reason, my lady.
She will glance over to Dimitri and kind of gesture for him to come closer.
Dimitri comes walking up, just fairly nonchalantly. You beckoned?
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't sure if you'd hear me. Apparently he has something to ask about you, and I wasn't sure what it was.
Dimitri just kind of shrugs, just, oh, all right. Looks to Galador, just,
I'd rather keep you involved in your own business.
thank you for that.
Oh, here comes the awkwardness. So, Galador, again, bows to Laney, and he gives a bit... It's not quite as deep of a bow, but it's a definitely respectful bow to Dimitri. He says, Baroness, as I'm sure you noticed the other night, while we were inebriated, your squire and I spent some time getting acquainted with one another. And he kind of pauses for a moment. You can tell he's thinking, probably thinking about the best way to word this. I felt emotion at that time that, with both of your permission, I would like to see if Dimitri here would like to spend some time with me to get to know each other. I thought it best to ask for your permission, as you are his baroness, and I can understand if you would not want him associating with me.
I hate to be... She's going to look at Dimitri first before responding. I will, in fact, P&E.
I'm gonna try as well, because he's actually, like, paying attention to this.
I have a specialty in detail-oriented. So that's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, if that counts here.
You're painting Dimitri?
Or... Oh, hell yeah. She doesn't know what the fuck to think at the moment, so she wants to see what he's thinking. You can choose to manipulation subterfuge if that's something that he might try to deceive on what he
has
feels.
no manipulation or subterfuge.
Oh,
Same.
he has to have manipulation.
Oh. Oh yeah, he
But
does. All right.
but
No,
subterfuge, no, not necessarily.
no, oh, no. He's basically you can tell he's kept his mouth from falling to the ground at this point.
And I get this. Okay, is that the 2 successes or the 5?
I'm getting to there. Like his stance has kind of changed from the nonchalant to just kind of a slightly leaned back, just kind of supporting himself on the training sword, just mouth kind of set shut, but his eyes are definitely deer in the headlights looking. Just
Okay,
what?
so he's shocked. He is shocked as hell.
Basically.
Okay, so that's basically what she was wondering, is if this is something that he had cooked up ahead of time with him, and then it's just he's coming to ask for a formal permission, or if it's something that you didn't know about either. That's what she's trying to figure out
Oh
here.
yeah, no. It is obvious this is dropping on Dimitri at the same time. Just what?
Okay. And so she turns to Galador and she says, well, I think we might both need a little more definition as to what you're referring to. Are you asking if you can court him, or are you asking if you can try to be friends?
Galador, like, he actually visibly blanches, like,
The way you phrased it was a little questionable, out of character.
I know, and that was intentional. He may not have subterfuge, but he has intelligence.
Okay. Just like, well, this because there's a difference. She doesn't have it. She's not going to tell him who he can court, but that's his own personal situation.
Hmm. He thinks for a moment. He's just choosing his words very carefully. I understand that I have not been the most politically minded of our people, and I wish to become friends with young Dimitri here, and if he shares the same feelings, then perhaps I would come to you later to ask for permission to court, but that is not what I come here for today, and I understand if you wish to protect his and yours reputation. That is why I ask, Baroness.
Okay. She nods to this.
Also peeing Dimitri again.
Lady
to see how he reacted to that.
She's too busy watching Galador at this point.
Well, with 2 successes, you would basically tell that he's kind of relaxed a little bit more, but the deer in the headlights look has not completely faded from his eyes. So just okay, that's a little more understandable. His his rigidness is kind of relaxed, but still just definitely watching the whole proceedings with okay.
I feel bad for our follower. Our viewer left before the awkward started.
All right. Well, when it comes to his personal life, I will not tell him what to do. That said, Sir Galador, you do realize the situation you and I find ourselves in, right? Because of my liege lord?
He nods. That is one of the reasons why I thought it would be best to ask your permission first before doing anything.
I have no objections to the 2 of you being friends if the 2 of you wish it, or whatever else that might come up between the 2 of you. Is really, again, your business. I'm with Fiona. I don't judge love wherever it might come up. But what I am going to say is, if I find out that you are trying to use him to get information, then there will be something said. There will be something done.
Galador actually, he nods and he gets almost a fire in his eyes as he looks at Laney and he says, "Were I to do so, you would have no need to worry, for I would sooner swear the oath of the Varich to never seal up before I would use another in such a way. It is dishonorable, and it goes against everything that she see love to be. In that regards, Baroness, you need not fear for such duplicity from me. And if you'd like, you can peony him to see if he's lying."
Well, yeah, that's everything let's just assume that she's peeing everything he says from here on out
Wait, hold on.
for this scene.
What's Galador's willpower?
I think it's
do
7.
Do it.
It's 7, yes.
7?
Holy fuck, I saw the shit out of this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yep,
7.
2 10s.
Yeah, he's being completely truthful.
And I'm getting that too with my 7
Yeah.
successes. That was overkill.
With your 7 successes, you get that that is something that is so integral to his being that to betray that, you get the feeling that it would probably change his true name because it would change his personality so much, his facial so much.
At this point, she will just kind of nod slowly to Galador and say, "Will you excuse me and Dimitri for a moment, please?"
He bows. "Of course, my lady."
And she'll
And-
kind of, well, you don't have to walk away, because she's actually going to kind of touch Dimitri's arm and just be like, "Will you walk over here with me?"
Yeah.
I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Out of character.
I know you do, and you can. We're going to walk probably off into the maze a little bit, where there's actually barriers kind of in the way.
Well, I mean, on out of character level, like in character, he's just waiting. But
And once they get far enough away, she'll just kind of look at Dimitri and be like, "This is really up to you. I mean, I realize that, yeah, I'm your Baroness and all that, and I will always be on your side, but this is really a personal thing on your part, because I'm not here to tell you who your friend should be, but you also know the situation."
Yeah. She's actually going to start kind of pacing in place a little bit, just back and forth in the same 3 feet, little line. Okay. I mean, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
She just kind of looks. She's like, "Look, no Fiona would ever tell someone what their relationship should be like. That's not cool. That's just not the way it would work for me ever. I would never make an arranged marriage for anybody ever, let alone an arranged friendship or arranged courtship."
Dimitri kind of laughs at the arranged friendship part. Just. Still, thank you for that.
That said, don't Gwydions tend to do a bit more of the arranged marriage kind of thing?
So I saw.
You know, we've talked about this before. You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're careful, you can do what you want. Just be careful not to betray me or Castiel, because if you do it, then it falls back on me.
Well, I don't see any problems with being friends. As for that night, I was flat out drunk. He kind of pauses. I remember talking about green bottles, and that's literally the extent of it.
She flinches. Green?
Talking. I think Toshi? Or was it Aaron? Aaron was there. No, Aaron wasn't there. Was it Toshi? I think it was just Toshi. Said something about green bottle with shaped things. I remember dancing. Didn't we dance?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You totally danced. You danced like crazy with him. As she kind of gestures with her head back towards Galador.
Huh. Dimitri kind of stops his pacing, just kind of chews on one of his nails. Just, well, I mean, can't go amiss with fostering a friendship. See where that takes us, I suppose. Open minds and all that.
Yeah, so she kind of just nods to that. She's like, if you find something that makes you happy, take it. Just remember your loyalties, but I don't think I need to tell you that.
I'd rather fall on this blunt sword than, well, betray you. Still, God, this would hurt. He just kind of looks at the sword.
Don't do that. Just don't do that.
How I'd do it where you couldn't see it, don't worry.
Ew, you shouldn't do it at all.
Yeah, possibilities.
And she just shakes her head, just like, okay, so do you want me to go back and stall for a couple more minutes for you so you can think, or do you want to? Shall we head back?
Stall for just 1 minute. I need to think about something.
All right. And she kind of touches his arm for a sec. You know, it's hard to reach his shoulder, so his arm really. He's too damn tall to be reaching his shoulder, and she's gonna head back out of the maze.
Yeah, you see Galador there, just probably like talking with a couple of the like retainers around the building, just being very polite and friendly. Just waiting.
Yeah, that's fine. She'll head over towards him. Probably the others sort of wander off when they see her coming. Politely wander off. They don't just like suddenly walk away. Oh my God!
You might think you abused them. Oh no, the Baroness is coming! Run away! Run for your lives!
So rude. What is wrong with her retainers? Actually, you'll say not retinue. Her retinue. She has 2 retinue and a canane. But if you meet the canane, it means you've met her dad. So that's a little weird. But you just might see when you went through the house, you might have seen an older gentleman that looks like John Bon Jovi.
Okay.
That was her dad. Anyway, and she kind of walks up, waits for them to him to finish the conversation there. Just sort of stays politely in his periphery. It doesn't bother her to wait a minute or two because she said she'd suck up a little bit more time for Dimitri anyway.
So as soon as he notices her, he'll politely excuse himself from talking with whoever he's talking, probably Marissa, and he'll walk back over. Milady, you know your seneschal is a very dedicated and polite woman. It was very pleasant speaking with her.
She's a friend. We were friends when I was a squire, and we're still friends now.
He nods and he gives her a polite smile. Yes, but I'm sure she serves you faithfully as a seneschal in that capacity, and I'm sure she is a good friend.
If you haven't caught by now, I tend to handle things in a fairly loose fashion. By loose, I mean I try not to be overly formal most of the time.
Sorry.
She just kind of shrugs. She's just like it's kind of my style. When I have to put on like my game face, I do. But most of the time, it's as long as people handle their stuff. Honestly, it takes more than one person to run a barony. I can tell you that.
He nods. I understand, Baroness. My own liege is much the same way, although it is at times hard for me to remember, so I do apologize if I give any offense through over formality. He kind of draws the word out like he's unsure if it's
you're fine.
quite the right phrase.
You're fine. I grew up in a family full of she. Okay, my mother was a she, my father a she Canaan. And I have a lot of, actually I have a lot of, there's half my family's Fiona, the other half's Gwydion. It's kind of a really interesting kind of explosion in the middle there. So I've seen both sides. If I need to do it, I can do it. I prefer the comfy chair over the formal chair, if you know what I mean.
He nods.
But yeah, Dimitri will be out in a minute here. He's going to make his own decisions on this one.
I understand, and I would not ask you to make such decisions for him, but after my last attempt at courtship, I understand that these things must be handled a certain way. He does have a bit of a bashful look on his face.
You mean with Castiel?
He nods. Yes,
I've heard.
That was a poor decision all around. Many, many factors led to that implosion. Not the least of which was the sheer dumb pride of my kith.
Have you been in the Far Dreaming before?
Once, recently, in this life. I've been in this form for a year, I believe. And I visited it once, yes.
Just saying, I saw some examples of that sort of pride, I guess you could say, recently when I found myself there.
He nods again. His eyes are definitely very, very, not mournful, but very, that's the word I'm looking for, very serious. And yes. The Gwydion and the lords of my old homeland were like that constantly.
Well, I mean, I understand that, we are, in theory, the deeper in we go, the more truly us, the more truly Fae that we are. And I understand that. It's just, it's kind of rough when you expect certain things, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, Astra is typically very, very informal about the way she handles things, at least with her friends. Malgrim is actually usually way more formal than most of the rest of us, but even he has his completely informal side.
He nods again.
It's just, I guess I think we're closer connected to our human sides here. Out here than we are in there. It is for the world that we live in. Yeah.
I must confess, one of the reasons that situation ended so badly is when I entered, I saw Castiel with another, and I admit that more than a little bit of jealousy influenced my decision.
Oh, Sir Galador, you're preaching to the choir when it comes to this. I may bring it up a little too often, but I am a Fiona. Believe me, I've been through all of this. So I don't know. I guess we're known for screwing up this love thing in so many ways. I can't judge you on that. What I can judge you for more is the sheer obvious ill will that you have towards my liege lord. Or at least that you had. I don't know if you still do or not. But there was an oath. That makes it that much more serious.
And yes, that oath was a result of this, and I'll admit I made that bed, and I shall have to sleep in it, as mortals would say. But the moment that Castiel came back and tried to make amends, that I think that was the moment when I lost any true anger or venom that I had towards him.
Because he tried to make amends?
He nods, and I, instead of giving him time to cool off, as I probably should have done myself, I simply saw in him the worst of our kind and reacted poorly. Galador just turns to look at Dimitri.
Hi. At this point, Dimitri kind of would have made his way down as they were talking. Obviously not trying to hide anything, just crunching down any gravel or grass type of thing. And is now just kind of standing there. His back is straight. He's keeping his eyes forward and focused. He's gripping the sword whose tip he is kind of lightly put into the ground. It's obvious he's going full, like, just, not intimidating, but trying to exude confidence instead of deer in the headlights at this point.
Okay, so is that different than what he's actually feeling?
A little bit.
If it is, then yeah, roll that really great manipulation subterfuge roll to see how well that goes off. I know you don't have subterfuge, right? But you can roll manipulation.
You're one die.
2, actually.
Wow, you're slightly more manipulative than Galador is.
Boom.
And
Damn
this
it.
is me trying to see through it. Yeah, how many did you get? 2? Hey, you did better than me. Yeah, I'm convinced of this. You look confident.
At least I didn't bot.
What the hell?
It wasn't a botch. It was. I got 1 success. It just wasn't enough.
Well, if Galador had botched, he would have thought you were going full Gwydion, and that would not have ended well.
Yeah, there is definitely the tint of Gwydion, but it's not, full, like, Gwydion.
Laney, upon seeing him or hearing him coming back, will sort of smile politely to Galador and take a couple of steps back, like, sort of essentially trying to exit herself a little bit from the situation, but still kind of there as almost a chaperone type thing. That's kind of what she's doing at this, because she's not sure because Gwydions tend to be super formal when it comes to this stuff. So she's trying to be proper here, but so present but a little out of the way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, as reference, how tall is Galador?
God, he's at least like 6 feet tall. He's not super tall, but he's decently tall.
Alright, so he's looking definitely downwards at you, but not like the straight down that he does when he talks to Laney type of thing. But you can always tell, like, he's not looking down and turning up his nose at the same time type of thing. It's just, he's taller than you at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He just... Alright. Sir Mogram ap Dougal, if I remember correctly.
You are getting hella side-eye right now.
I apologize for any formal tone I have taken, but as you have come to make a formal request, I thought it was only proper to respond formally as well. Of course I will be your friend. I'm not in the business of making enemies at this point. However, for the courtship, I will say, as of this moment, I am unsure, but that is not a no. Kind of holds up his fingers when he says that. But I will recommend let us continue as friends and see what develops from there.
He nods. That was my plan, Sir Dimitri. I would not think to infringe your personal, your personal decisions, as it were. They are yours and yours alone to make, and I will respect that.
Dimitri nods. Well, so long as that is respected, as I will say, I am not in the business of marrying off or marrying to people I have only known for a week, unlike, as I'm sure my lady has said, most of my kin.
You're getting a bit of a raised eyebrow at this point.
And she's going to kind of raise her hand, just be like, courting isn't marrying. It means that you're in a situation serious enough that you might consider it.
Duly noted.
She actually says that out loud, just in case things get a little,
No, and Dimitri would also say that just kind of with a short nod of his head, probably a little crack in his facade coming up, but just...
She also, well, the reason she said it is because it's really more of a she concept than a troll concept.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she's kind of guessing that maybe you didn't quite know that, but she knows because she's been surrounded by she her whole life. Half of them Gwydion.
Good guess, because he actually didn't.
Yeah, so she did. She just didn't really think it was like an engagement. It's just, we're in a thing where we're only a committed thing where we're heading towards a marriage, possibly. Is kind of anyway, but yeah.
And Galador will actually just wait, and if Dimitri gives like a pause in his speech, he'll just go, Sorry, I have an issue. One moment.
We hear the cat. Yes, I heard the cat.
Well, that's a new noise, Kavita.
Sorry about that. I had a animal.
No, we
interrupting my she-ness. So, he just...
Is that a meow?
Just very, very seriously says, marriage is not something I would ask, especially not as we do not know each other very well yet. I simply wish for the chance to become friends and let whatever grows from that happen. Love is a very important concept to my people, to the she, and it would be very wrong of me to ask that of you.
What was the tenet? Dimitri kind of stops as he's obviously trying to remember something drilled into his head. Just love conquers all, as they say. So he gives a big, huge, like sweeping bow. Ultra formal at this point. He is going slightly Gwydion, not full Gwydion, but only slightly. Just then I accept your offer of friendship gladly, Sir Mogram Ap, or Sir Galador Ap Dougal. Sorry, that I keep messing up names.
He has a very definitely the way he's looking at you, like he's got a bit of a flicker of laughter in his eyes, but you can tell it's not directed directly at you. He bows very formally. And I am very happy that you have chosen to accept it. Sir Dimitri, Ap Gwydion. As he stands up, Laney, you notice his eyes, well, both of you would notice, but Laney would probably get the significance of this more. Notice his eyes turn from deep, deep black to a very light gold.
She blinks at this. Doesn't say anything, though.
And Galador then just claps his hands and says, would either of you like to go out and get some refreshments, my treat? I mean, unless you wish to finish training first, perhaps?
Laney kind of looks at Dimitri.
Nice. He's like,
And in case out of character, if you were wondering, yes. dates is kind of asking you to go on like a friend date.
A friend date with a chaperone.
Exactly. It's only a true date if there's no chaperone.
Dimitri look at Laney, just kind of chuckle a little bit, and just, well, training is kind of a subjective word at this point. My lady, if you want, I can put your sword away for you.
Yeah, if you want. I should probably change out of the armor.
Probably.
You do not wear your armor everywhere, lady? And you sense like genuine confusion in Galador's voice.
She looks down at it. She's like, honestly, I never wear it anywhere.
I simply would think, as one of your station, it would be almost a necessity to protect yourself in case of an unexpected attack.
I'm only barely learning how to fight, to be very honest. And besides, armor's really very hot. It's difficult to wear everywhere.
He nods, and he has a bit of a gleam in his eye, and you can tell he's definitely thinking of something. I will see if I can find something more comfortable that is protective, milady. Perhaps I can
There's
make
nothing
something.
wrong with what I'm wearing. It's just... I'm not really much of a fighter, so, I mean, it's obviously something I'm working on a little bit, but...
He smiles.
I could use better armor, though. There's no doubt about that, but... This works for now. She sort of smiles, and she's just like, if so you don't mind taking care of... And she kind of holds up the sword.
I'll put it away. Make sure it's clean.
You don't have to. I can clean up myself, you know.
Mm-hmm. Just like you can do an overhead shot. Let me get that for you.
Galador actually giggles a little. Like, it's very, like, quiet, but it's definitely, he chuckles at that.
Yeah? You want to see if you can run as fast as me?
That I know you'd win. But, still, when you're stopped running and somebody has a sharp middle pointy bit, then you might want to run a little bit faster.
Well, yeah. That is like the point of it, right?
Yeah, until they have a sharp middle pointy bit going the speed of sound.
Well, if it's a gun or something, I mean, obviously, that's going to win.
Not always. Well, actually, most of the time. Guns killed honor. Alright.
That's probably the truest thing I've ever heard anybody say. Guns killed honor.
Anyway, I will clean this and put it away. You two, have fun. I'll be right back. Dimitri would pick up Lane.
Lane will kind of escort him into the house, back to the sitting room, if that's okay, and then she'll run upstairs and change really quick. And I'm assuming Dimitri will take care of his stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
When you guys get back, there's a cat. There's a Litten sitting on Galador's shoulders. And it's just looking at Dimitri with this pure amusement in its eyes.
It should also be noted that while Galador was alone, Kavita would have entered the room, basically sat across from him, and just kind of affixed him with a stare. Not have done anything, just stared at him.
He would have stared it back. He stared it in the eyes.
And upon seeing this, Dimitri would have said to Laney as soon as she arrived, just, your Squirtle's rubbing off.
But, well, right before you enter, you're probably like, well, do I hear Galador say, don't worry, I'll behave. To Kavita.
No, as soon as she heard him say that, she heard Dimitri say that, she just kind of starts giggling. She's like, everyone needs to have a little bit of a sass, don't you think? This is what you get for letting Kavita hang out over here.
Well, she would be so unhappy at home, no matter how many times I put Zootopia on loop.
You should not keep her in the house all the time. That's just wrong. And she can run around. She could run around this place freely. Like, she could run wherever she wants to go, and none of us care.
I try not to keep her in the house. I honestly do. It's a very small apartment for such a big... She looks like quite a thing.
There is no particular read for talking, but since it is a Pokemon, Pokemon tend to be... They have to follow the Pokemon rules, which means unless you're a Meowth, then you don't talk. You speak your own name. Yeah. It's just one of, because the dreaming forms them that way. Unless you specifically try to train them, maybe. I suppose that might be a possibility, but as a standard...
Yeah. Well, you can just use Will-O-Whisper to talk to it anyway, so...
Yeah, that's fine. You can certainly talk to it, and I have no problem with you actually understanding what your Pokemon is saying to you, because you're getting to know it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. So Litton just looks at Laney, dips its head very briefly, then looks at Dimitri and says, "Litton!" And Galador just looks at it on his shoulder and just shakes his head.
Laney grins at the Litton. She knows Squirtle is outside still lounging on the rock, so Togepi, God knows where Togepi is at the moment, to be honest. And she's like, "So, gentlemen, are you ready?"
Galador stands up. "I am ready if you are." Looking at both of them.
Dimitri kind of does a short little bow and a sweeping motion with his hand, obviously being overly cheesy. "After you two."
Galador will actually offer his arm to Laney in like that formal, like, "May I escort you to your vehicle" sort of way.
It was so awkward and formal. It's like Lady's just like about to come out of her skin on this formality. Like, oh my god.
Well, she's caught between the cheese squad.
She would play along for the moment, but yeah, it's just kind of like she looks back and forth, kind of going, I don't know if I should roll my eyes or not.
If she does, like, as soon as like they start walking back, Galador will just kind of whisper, "Sorry, but I think he expects it," like out of the corner of his mouth, like really quietly.
And honestly, if either of them look behind them at Dimitri, he has the biggest shit-eating grin on his face right now. It is quite obviously he is enjoying the amount of uncomfort these two are going through right now.
Well, she's just kind of she's going along with the formality and kind of giggling at it to herself. Is kind of how it's working. She's not actually rolling her eyes, but she is very much sort of like, with her hand over her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just kind of just looks or just shakes her head as they walk out. They head wherever the heck it is that they're going. Is there anything else you want to do here, or just gonna let them go do a thing over there?
I'm all for just go doing a thing.
And have a nice, polite, and probably far too formal conversation at wherever it is they end up?
Galador would actually, he'd ask them where they want to go, but if, unless they have a specific preference, he'd take them to a little Italian restaurant.
Oh, Italian's
Not
good.
too fancy. It's not too fancy, but it's not fast food. It's kind of probably a little family place, locals. They're very friendly.
We're in New York, it might as well be fast. It's everywhere.
And he'll just get them, probably a booth, with enough space that they can all sit, comfortably.
Well, that's actually the real trick of that is with with Dimitri. Lady sits anywhere. She's pocket size.
Dimitri kind of requires a booth.
The booth gets shoved all the way over towards Laney. Actually, if she wants the best seat, she would sit right next to Dimitri. Because then she'd have all this extra room in front of her, it'd be great.
True. Yeah, but basically, as they sit down, Galador just kind of nods. "So are we cool to be done with all the formality?"
Please, God, yes. And Dimitri says this with a completely straight face.
Thank goodness.
You just sort of, I need like a lot of wine after that.
Well, I mean, they have fairly good wine here, but I mean,
No, that's good. That's good. I'm all for that. At least a glass, if nothing else. Just because that was all a little much for me. I never thought I'd be brokering relationships of any variety for someone.
it's just not so much brokering as being the responsible adult in the room, I suppose.
It is my job. At least for some people.
And the job of a baroness is not easy.
Well, when it comes to the day-to-day stuff, it's not, I mean, it's hard, but a lot of it's more tedious, just in handling all the minutia and the needs of various people and that sort of thing,
He nods.
Keeping up with taxes and trying to figure out what the tax rate should be, and just a lot of that kind of stuff. That stuff is, I'm getting to the point I can handle that. I have Marissa, who's amazing with this stuff. I have an accountant. I'm good, But when it comes to the actual politics part of it, it gets a little weirder for me.
Politics, I'll admit, are one of my least favorite things of our society.
Yeah, definitely. I am, I don't know. I think I'm getting more used to a lot of it, but like, there are just times it's like, you have to put on that, well, basically, since most of you are she, people tend to expect me to behave like you. And I'm not you. So I'm kind of trying to wrap my head around everything,
He nods. She, I'll admit, are... Well, I am not by any means disloyal. I see that we are not the saints that we would see ourselves as.
I don't know. I'm just, in some ways I'm lucky, Like, I would probably come off like that poor little rich girl if I started complaining about it,
Everyone has a right to complain. Doesn't matter how they sound. Now, the trick is whether or not anyone will listen to you.
I don't know about you, but I've found that ignoring the words of someone in power is never wise.
Yeah.
True, but if I spend all my time complaining about things like this, then I just come off looking weak. And then I don't look like a good leader to my people either.
Perhaps that is true, but there are times when you must have those who share such burdens with you. Keeping burdens, emotions, feelings bottled up inside you never ends well. I noticed that as you were walking, you noticed he was not wearing greaves and his arms are bandaged. I forgot to mention that earlier. His arms are really bandaged.
And she just kind of looks and she's like, "Are you injured?"
Shakes his head. No, I simply, funnily enough, I simply had too much emotions bottled up, and this was the result.
I see. Well, I hope things heal up pretty well. I
Thank you.
don't know.
Galador just orders some food because it's really quiet, awkwardly quiet, and he's just like, I'm gonna offer some food, like order some food.
Maybe order a glass of wine and a salad, and then she'll just be like, I'll be back, ladies' room, and
Oh no.
she leaves. Yep, just on purpose. That's right, guys.
Galador just kind of stares at Dimitri kind of awkwardly, like...
As Laney gets up to leave, Dimitri would definitely shoot her a very pained "why" expression.
Because I just did the same thing to Luke and she literally the same thing. She just did the same thing to Luke and Diva the other day. It was amazing. It's like becoming her trademark.
After she leaves, Galador just kind of clears his throat and so Dimitri, where are you from?
A little bit out of town, one of the suburbs.
Right.
Yourself?
I'm from... Well, this mortal body is from Caledonia, at least.
Mortal body, I thought we dropped the formality. He kind of says with a joking smile on his face.
He nods. Not a formality, more a technicality. I'm from Caledonia, I suppose would simply just be the easiest way to say it.
What brings you so far afield, if I may ask?
He gets a bit more of a guarded look. Just you see his like the cogs whirring in his head as he's thinking for a moment. I am avoiding certain issues in my homeland.
Yeah. Fair enough. I know when not to pry, don't worry.
True, but he sighs. In friendship, telling one another lies is not a good idea, and keeping secrets is certainly not. So, I suppose I should tell you the whole truth. He kind of clears his throat.
Dimitri kind of holds up his hands a little bit, just only if you really want to. Trust me, that's totally fine if you want to keep it a little bit on the air of mystery side for a little bit, but if you're comfortable enough, go right ahead, by all means. Just want to make sure that you don't feel like I'm trying to pressure you into this one.
No pressure, but I am... A dear friend told me that being open and being a bit more of an open book, as she put it, or as he put it, is a good thing for she to start doing. He kind of nods his head from side to side. In my homeland, I am wanted.
Dimitri would kind of be half biting into like a piece of bread, or like there's what?
Yes. King Ross of your house has been, let's say, less than happy with the accordances here in Concordia. He fears that those in his realm will seek the same. I was one of those who spoke against the very draconian measures he is taking in my homeland.
And so for your troubles, you put a price on your head.
Among other things. He killed my first squire. Well, not him directly, but those in his employ.
Oh. That'd be a reason to go on a run.
Galador nods. This, among other things, is one reason why it is difficult for me to trust one of your house, but you have shown that you are different, and you are pure of heart. Thus, I will not hold you accountable for his actions.
Well, gonna take that as a compliment and say thank you. I try.
He gives a smile, and just a small smile. If you think that I was attempting to, as they say, throw shade, I assure you I was not. It is a genuine compliment from me.
Even if you were, I'd say I'm used to it by now.
Yes, it is not easy for one of our house in our kingdom. Many among our people have suffered at the hands of ill-begotten kings, and it'll be a while, I'm sure, before many of them find it in their hearts to forgive.
Laney returns to the table at this point and is just kind of like, actually, our queen is a Fiona.
True.
And
look how much different the Kingdom of Apples is from the kingdoms of Caledonia, ruled by a Gwydion.
well, I will add that Regent Morwen is a Gwydion.
Regent she may be, but she is not queen.
True, but she does handle all of the matters of the queen, while the queen is currently the regent for Concordia.
I suppose.
I guess from what I've seen, House Ilunid is treated a lot worse than Gwydion is in general around here.
More than likely.
They are the House of Secrets. Save House Liam, they are the least understood of our houses, and as they say, understanding breeds empathy, so a lack of understanding thus must breed a lack of empathy.
Well, to be honest, do anybody who's outside of each of the houses really not? I mean, none of us fully understand the other houses. We can all sit there and make generalizations forever. Ilunid keeps too many secrets. You know, Liam keeps too close of connections with humans, and they're oath breakers. Those are the things that we hear, right? Fiona are party animals, and they do nothing but have sex all the time.
Just glances at Dimitri out of the corner of his eye.
By the way, Laney's delivering all this with a very calm voice. She's clearly not. I mean, she's just like she's not actually trying to insult houses. She's just mentioning all the generalizations. My point is that there's a lot of points of view on houses and what we think, or what people know, and that is usually not true. At least I don't think they are.
Well, One can always hope, right? But, I mean, as you say, the inner workings of the houses are probably so bleedingly different. Even if someone did fully grasp at least two, the third would probably be an enigma to them.
Hmm.
I suppose.
Hmm.
I mean,
He's just kind of thinking it over.
if you had someone who was perfectly versed in Fiona and, let's say, Lunid politics, and they tried to go into a Gwydion court, they'd probably be killed for, well, some reason or another. Some breach of conduct, or at the very least, they'd be challenged probably to a duel every time they stepped foot in.
True. This is why I, like most of my house, do not participate in politics often. There are better things to consume our time with.
Well, true. Politics are also the beating heart of the civilization, whether we like it or not. If we forsake them, then at one point or another, someone we don't like will come into power, and, well, as they say, the world will burn.
You mean like
True.
Duke Guile?
I have heard of this name, but I have not heard the connotation. I've heard the name, and I've heard much anger associated with it, but I do not know the reason why. Could you enlighten me, please?
Sure. I mean, it's a fairly simple story. I don't know all the details of it, because I was around, but I wasn't personally involved. Basically, what it boils down to is we had the war with the Adhim. It ended about a year ago. And something of a combination of us winning / a stalemate. Basically, and the reason it went down that way is because Duke Guile and a group of other people, including Countess Anne, also an Ilunid, and some people of various other houses, I believe, they basically tried to create a genocide. They created some sort of virus thing that killed everything but us, changelings. It took out an entire camp of Adhim. Possibly some more. I don't know all the details. And I heard at least one Selkie.
Efficient, yes. Immoral and dishonorable, also. This. So I assume this is why the Ilunids are so fiercely protective of their house's honor.
There's been some prejudice against Ilunids since that happened. Since the two Ilunids were the leaders of this group.
Nods.
There's also
I
at least
see.
definitely one Gwydion who was a member, who was involved, though possibly to a lesser extent. And various
Then it
other
is
houses
likely.
too.
Then it is likely at least one of my house was involved, since most of us follow the Gwydion's lead without a second thought.
Possibly, I don't remember. I could dig out the list if you would like. I'd have to find that book again, but there is a list of the people that were accused.
Do not worry yourself, milady. It is not of that much consequence at the moment.
Well, I can say with some honesty now, I take back what I said. Guns do not kill honor. We did, and we buried it in a mountain of bodies. But that's dark talk for dinner. How about something a bit happier, sunshinier, rosy?
Blank, blank.
Lady drinks her wine. That's it. Just drinks her wine.
So, Dimitri,
Yes.
You are a squire. What do you like to do in your spare time when you are not training?
Dimitri kind of stops. Depending on the day, it's probably working. Depending not on the day, it's probably sleeping. Depending on the other days,
Video
it's kind of a
games? Do you like to play video games?
off and on when I find the time.
So you don't do much recreation, I suppose, or at least not any significant amount.
No, it's. I do. I kind of classify that under training due to physical straining and, well, mental attitude usually when doing so. But I do visit the gym every so often.
All right.
I mean, learned how to box, gotta put it in somewhere, right?
I suppose. He smiles. So if you spend much time at your work, do you see? I suppose I must phrase this question better. Why do you have passion in your job? I am simply curious. What in your job brings you passion? Brings back the memory of why you wanted to do this in the first place?
Well, as for why I do the job, it's kind of a dual purpose, I'd say. You kind of see, he kind of sits there, kind of taps his water glass at this point against the table. Well, I can honestly say, I mean, I went into it due to family obligation. It's kind of expected of you when your father and your grandfather and so on and so on and so on. I've been doing it since, well, before they could even put it down to record. But as to why I continue to do it, I mean, someone's got it, right? So might as well be someone who wants to do it and, I mean, isn't going to abuse the power.
That is a good reason.
And it's an old saying, and I'm sorry if I keep going back to these, but all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And it's, in my opinion, better to take action than to sit on your hands.
Alright. So you see it as a duty.
Yeah, pretty much. What about yourself? What keeps you ticking?
Well, I, as with most of my house, enjoy making things. The act of creating something that has a purpose gives me purpose, you would say. But recently I've been taking on more responsibility, and unfortunately I've had to leave the forge behind more than I'd like.
So it's the very act of creation, then.
I suppose.
That's an admirable thing to, well, look up to, I suppose.
No, reality is inherently flawed. We of House Dougal try our best to bring a little bit of perfection into reality with our work. That is our passion. Many of us it consumes. Those who it consumes become ill-tempered, seeing only flaws in others. That is why most of my house does not work well with people.
Well, it's, man, what would we be without our flaws, right? You with that, and me with everything else.
Just raises an eyebrow at you. It's not challenging, it's more like questioning.
Ah, come on. You know what I'm talking about. Hell, you walk up to one of us and you poke us in the chest and say, You lied about being home at 3:45 when we were home at 3:55 or something like that. And we'll punch you square in the face and proceed to break every table around us. It's not a secret.
He nods. Be as it may, your people hold strongly to their honor, and that is an admirable thing.
Yeah. Someone's got it in this messed up world.
And there's another smile. True. Very true. Just kind of glances at Laney. See if she's still, like, asleep. Or still awake, not asleep. We dragged the parents off to dinner while she was asleep.
No, she's not sleeping. She's just letting you guys talk. She is slowly working on that wine and probably working on eating her salad, occasionally checking her phone. Not rudely so, but you know, like she's letting you guys talk.
Mm-hmm. Just being a polite chaperone, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, aside from the looking at her phone, which is probably a little bit rude, but we also dropped the formal stuff a few minutes ago, so.
Yeah.
So Galador just kind of looks back to Dimitri. So you are a warrior, yes?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't fancy myself overly so, but yes.
Tell me, how do you prefer to fight?
Blade on blade.
Very noble.
I'm guessing by your armor you think much the same way.
Yes, I do. I see no reason for those of us who know how to wield the blade not to.
Dimitri grins at this and nods. Just. Well.
Perhaps we should spar sometime. And he kind of raises an eyebrow at you.
Sure. I mean, yeah, you could hold your own. Hell, you could probably beat me.
I would not be so sure of that, but it is always good to. I see it as a bit of a bonding experience, sparring.
Nothing brings friends together like beating the shit out of each other.
True, and it is never a more intimate moment with someone than when you are trying to kill them, even if it is only in play.
You kind of points at him. I'm beginning to like you.
Well, I should certainly hope so. It would be fairly awkward if you did not.
It would. It would be way more awkward. That was more for dramatic effect than anything. He just kind of waves his hand a little bit. But yeah, I'll take you up on that offer. Well, he'll probably work the rust off a few places. It's been so long since I've actually had somebody kind of make a little side glance to Laney, who could probably stay up for 4 minutes.
Hey.
Galador actually laughs. Like, it's not a rude laugh that you notice, like...
And how long would you last in my library? How long would you last in my library, huh? Huh?
I'm not going to even answer that because I don't want to tell you the amount of times I've fallen asleep in there. Anyway.
Yeah. My point made, though. We're each different. Thank you very much.
It's all good fun.
As he laughs, he just says, Lady Laney defends her honor quite well.
Her words bite like a blade in my back. If only they had the same impact.
Hey, at least I'm trying.
Oh, you're trying very
Yeah.
well. I kid,
Yeah.
I kid. He kind of nudges her with his elbow, just, I kid, I kid.
I might suck, but at least I'm trying to get better at this.
Ah, you won't be able to say that for much longer. But I digress. Kind of points to Galador. I'm going to take you up on that offer. Maybe not today. Probably tomorrow. Or the next day. Whenever the schedule's free.
Nods. Do you have a blade, perchance?
Currently, only the blunt one provided by... He kind of makes a very showy motion to Laney. This one.
Galador kind of glances over at Laney. Would it be alright if I were to make you one?
He needs a good weapon. I have no problem with getting him a better one.
He nods, and then looks back to Dimitri. Apologies, but it is a little bit rude to arm another squire without their permission.
Dimitri's kind of sitting a little bit forward. You can see that his eyes are slightly open, and there's a slight gleam to them. Just when you said, "Is it alright if I provided him with a blade?" Essentially, just, "Oh no, that's fine, that's fine."
Well, you'll have to wait a few days before I can start on it, but if you give me some specifications for the weapon, I could make it.
Of course, take your time, take your time. I'll be sure to get those to you. He's kind of sitting there now kind of just,
I see that dancing with the blade excites you. That is good. And if you want to roll, like, Laney might want to roll, like, perception empathy there.
Oh God, is that like? Please tell me
It's
that's
a double entendre.
What?
Oh, God.
God damn it!
I'm sorry, he is Cyrenaic. Like that shit just kind of.
Gee, and I'm a satyr. I shouldn't have to roll this.
Oh, that's right, you're a satyr, yes.
Either way,
Yeah.
I got 2, so.
You definitely get. Oh yeah, he's definitely. That was a little tiny bit of flirting there.
She doesn't say anything. Just kind of a perceptive sort of look towards Galador, but doesn't say anything because if Dimitri didn't catch it, she is not going to enlighten him on this one at this point. She's not about to get involved and actually try playing matchmaker. That is not her game.
I mean, the last time a satyr tried playing matchmaker, they tried matching Galador and Castiel up, and well, we all know how that went.
Which satyr did this?
God, he's only done like 2 scenes.
Oh, Arthas?
No, not Arthas, the other satyr. His player's hardly ever in Changeling chat. I can't remember his name.
Oh, wait, maybe. Anyway, it's okay. It's fine. And Lady's gonna be like, well, I do have some things I need to do, back home. Would you two be okay? Or did you want to see me home, Dimitri? It's up to you. I'll be fine either way, I think.
We can see you home, and if Dimitri is amenable, we could go for a bit of a walk and continue our conversation if you'd like to.
Kind of stops things from going. What the hell, I'll go for a short walk.
Get a smile. So yeah, Galador will pay for their food and stuff.
Laney will tell him thank you.
Yeah, he'll just give her a big old smile.
But it really is, I need to go to bed, so.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you guys can do what you want, just like if you're going to drop her off at home, just you can be on auto mode till you get her home, okay?
Okay. Talk to you later.
Right.
Thank you.
Night.
Night.
But the awkward continue.
Oh.
Super awkward.
Oh joy.
So yeah, after they drop Laney off, say goodnight and everything, Galador just kind of starts walking, waiting for Dimitri to follow.
Dimitri will follow pretty. All right. He'll follow closely. Not like overly like right next to shoulder bumping type thing, but close enough.
So tell me about yourself. What are your hopes, your dreams? What do you look forward to?
What do I look forward to? Kind of purses his lips a little bit as he thinks and just. Do my best. Leave the world better than I went. Leave the world better going out than I found it when I came in.
A very honorable goal. But surely there is something you wish to accomplish not in the far future, but perhaps say in the next year. Is there something that you wish to accomplish?
Next year? Well, not really abreast in our politics enough to make a power play. You can obviously tell he's kidding at this point. Very much kidding when he said that. Well, it'd be nice to advance at least a rank, at least. But, a year's a short amount of time to do such a thing.
Not really. From what I hear, Baroness Estrella went from being a squire to a baroness in about a year.
Affixes Galador with a smile. So there's hope yet, you say?
There is always hope, even in the darkest times. As he smiles back.
That's good. We'll have to use that one.
I found it in some old book. I don't remember which, but it's always struck me as something that, especially for our people, would be inspiring, I suppose, is the word I would use.
Inspiration comes from every source we can grab at it. How about yourself? Any big plans for the Swordmaker?
Plans. Kind of takes a deep breath of the cool night air as they're walking. I wish to save my people that are being oppressed by King Ross. I wish to become strong enough, perhaps become a baron or a count, rally the Kingdom of Apples, bring this cause to their notice. My greatest desire, truthfully, is simply to ensure that those I care about don't have to go through the same things that I've gone through. And he just kind of gives Dimitri a bit of a smile.
Dimitri kind of nods. Yeah, that is also a noble goal. What a world we live in, eh?
Agreed. I have seen much or much of what one can do to another person. I've seen war and I've seen peace. It simply gives me hope that tomorrow will be better than today.
That is admirable. And she kind of nods, kind of grins back at him. You got a good head on your shoulders.
Thank you.
Well,
If I may ask, have you ever seen war? I imagine in your line of work you've seen something similar, but among our people, have you ever seen war?
seen more. I was... The war? No, actually. To put it quite simply, no. I have not seen war. I have seen things that may look like war to some, but it's not war. I curse list just before or just after it kind of gets hazy. The war a year or so ago ended. After that, well, no. I've seen fights. I have seen murder. I've seen a lot of things. But I haven't seen war yet.
You nod. Galador nods. And I hope you never have to. It is good that you have not seen war.
How about yourself? From what you said, I'm guessing yes, but...
Yes, I saw combat in the 18 wars, and at times at night I have visions of long lost wars, battles fought, deaths that I suffered.
Must be a burden, I suppose.
Sometimes, but at other times it just simply makes me grateful for what I have, for what I've done, for the friends that stand beside me. He gives Dimitri a smile.
Huh? She kind of nods, smiles back. It's been a good night, I have to say. Enjoyable, fun, awkward. Now, will not lie, it's been awkward as hell, but enjoyable.
Galador nods. Yes, I have enjoyed this night as well, even with the rather heavy topics of conversation at times.
Well, we didn't talk about the heavy topics. They just sit there and take up space.
True.
Until finally they broke through the thin veneer we call pleasantries.
Very true. I do apologize if I made you uncomfortable earlier. It was not my intention.
You're totally fine. Well, you should probably feel proud. Not many people can surprise me like that. Actually, that's untrue. You kind of stops. A lot of people can surprise me like that. So I wouldn't say much a badge of pride as a check mark on the list.
He kind of chuckles. Still, I did appear to make you uncomfortable, and I do apologize.
Dimitri just kind of waves it off, just, no apology necessary. I'm sorry if it appeared that you made me overly uncomfortable. It was just, again, slightly surprising.
May I ask why?
Yeah, it's not every day you have a knight show up in full armor and say, hey, I'd like to be your friend. Because we danced together, and other things. Dimitri kind of obviously glosses over the last part.
I suppose. Kind of nods to himself a bit. I see. Well, if you're ever in Brooklyn, don't hesitate to stop by for coffee sometime.
Duly noted. And if you ever find yourself, no, you're fine. And if you ever find yourself walking through Queens, go ahead and come on up. I'll see if I have anything to drink that's potable for the sheep hat. He says that with an obvious air of joking.
He just laughs again. It's very musical. It sounds like bells tinkling as he laughs. And just that would be nice. It's been a while since I've had the freedom to simply sit and talk with a friend without horror or anger or tears. It's refreshing. And if you would like any assistance with your training, I would be more than happy to help.
Well, I'll definitely keep that in mind.
He smiles.
It's always good to keep oneself familiar with the basics, at least, right?
True.
Dimitri just kind of looks up, at the sky, just kind of walking a little bit, just.
Heavy thoughts swing upon your mind?
No, just enjoying the view of, well, due to light pollution, absolutely nothing.
If you'd like, after I resolve this situation, I can take you to Caledonia, the Isle of Skye. You can see the stars. You can see the Milky Way as it once was.
Yeah. I'm going to have to take you up on that one, too.
He smiles. It is quite the sight. I remember taking my first squire there for training. We spent about 3 days on the Isle. I taught him much of swordplay and the making of fine arms and armor. And at night, we spent hours simply observing the stars, the sky, even in Caledonia, in most places, it's rare to see.
Yeah. The world, she is a beautiful place. Just gotta know where to look.
That is true. He just kind of they probably have looped the block by this time, I imagine.
Yeah.
And probably back at Laney's door, so he just kind of stands there and just regards Dimitri for a moment. I bid you good night, Dimitri.
Dimitri kind of nods his head. Good night to you.
May your dreams be full of light and hope for a new day.
That'd be a new one. But I extend the same courtesy to you as well.
And good
night.
And he gives you a deep nod, or deep bow. Good night.
Dimitri would kind of laugh, just reach out, pat him on the shoulder. Thought we did away with the formality for tonight. Good night, Galador.
Good night. He gives you a broad smile as he waits until you're in the house before he starts walking away. And if, like, you look out the window, you just see him take a deep breath, looking up at the sky, and just smile, big, bright smile as he walks off. And is there anything else you'd like to do?
Nope.
All right. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and stay tuned for more.